This is the iconic Kilmainham Gaol on the south side of Dublin City. It was opened in 1796, but is most famous as the place where the leaders of the Easter Rising in 1916 were imprisoned after their surrender, and where most of them were executed shortly afterwards. A few years later, around halfway through the War of Independence in 1920, my maternal grandfather, Tom O'Connor, was also interned here for around a month with no reason given. He was raised in a Republican family in Shillelagh in County Wicklow and became a successful businessman. He had married Frances Finnegan from County Meath earlier that year and owned a general provision store, McGee's of Rathmines, beside which they both lived in a known safe house. During his internment in December 1920, Tom wrote a number of letters to his new bride, updating her on his situation. He made requests for the delivery of food and his chequebook, and for the passing on of instructions to the staff of McGee's. We found 7 of these letters while clearing out our own family home in 2015, and my sister Jean archived, digitised and contextualised them. This is the east wing of Kilmainham Gaol, built in the 1860s. Each one of the 96 cells is visible from this central hallway. It's become familiar in recent years due to its use as a location for feature films such as Michael Collins and In the Name of the Father.
My name is Michael O'Sullivan. I'm the son of Nuala, who is one of the 10 daughters and the 11 surviving children of Tom and Frances O'Connor. And this is one of the jail cells that Tom would have been put in when he was here in Kilmainham Gaol. I'm now going to read one of the letters that was found that he wrote to Frances while he was serving time in jail here. My dear Frances, just a line as I am sending out the soiled clothes, but for them I have nothing to write but what you already know. There is a great deal of prisoners being shifted into and out of this place, and I have hopes of being shifted soon. I have not yet received any reply up to the time of writing as to the granting of parole. I think you should go to Navan for Christmas. If I am released, I can go down. You ought not to remain there on your own. If I get parole, it'll be at 6 p.m. on Friday, Christmas Eve. And they don't generally tell you until the last moment, so that if you go down on the 5:30 train, I could follow on the next morning. The officer in charge asked me today what I was here for, and I said I was trying to find that out, so he said he would inquire. I'm glad to say that I'm in even better health than before I came in, and things have improved somewhat here. We kick up and nod dust. Sorry to have left you on your own, and hoping you are keeping your heart up in trying circumstances. I'm quite certain something will be done soon, as this is my 22nd day here. If nothing has been done by Tuesday next, I think you better tell my solicitor to come in and see me. If Mr. Norman does not like to take it on, then you better see Mr. Corrigan of 4 St. Andrew Street. He was in seeing Mr. McNeil, and Mr. O'Donoghue had his solicitor in, and he is now released. So had Mr. Stewart. I would like to be sure that they are not forgetting me. There are so many cases to be dealt with. Hoping Sean T. and Joe are keeping on working hard with Wheel It In, etc. I never had such a Christmas week, escaping all the rushing this time. I hope they clear the hands, but I think they will be scarce. Remember me to all the boys, and best love to you, dear little self, and hoping to be with you very soon. Your loving hubby, Tom.
I found this letter at the very bottom of a tea chest full of Granny's papers, in the attic of our family home, where it had sat for many decades. It moved me to write this poem, a villanelle, which my friend and fellow poet Maurice Devitt agreed to read.
Kilmainham Gaol, December 1920, by Maeve O'Sullivan. We kick up a strange dust in this dark place. No Christmas rush, no seasonal good cheer. I wonder when I'll get to see your face. Some people say that prison brings disgrace, while others claim we're heroes to revere. We kick up a strange dust in this dark place. I miss the house, our windows with their lace. I long to touch my new bride's braided hair. I wonder when I'll get to see your face. Please send our lawyer over, just in case. 3 weeks I've been incarcerated here. We kick up a strange dust in this dark place. And take the train up to your old home place. You shouldn't be alone with all your fear. I wonder when I'll get to see your face. If I'm released, to Navan I will race. Together we can ring in the new year. We kick up a strange dust in this dark place. I wonder when I'll get to see your face.
And that poem appears in a special edition of the Boyne-Berry's Journal, published in September 2017. Tom O'Connor didn't get to ring in 1921 with his new wife Frances, having already missed out on spending their first Christmas together as a married couple. His last letter from here, as a political prisoner, is dated New Year's Eve 1920. In this letter, he says, "It is hardly likely that I will be kept here much longer." The letter stopped there, so we can assume that he was eventually released shortly afterwards, unharmed. Their first child, Ailish, was born in October 1921. She was the eldest of 11 surviving children, 10 of them girls. I am the fourth daughter of their fourth daughter, Mairead.